Okay, we are on to the side of the building. I've done this side here. I painted them, as you can see, like a tannish color. I've seen some buildings that color before, and I left the windows gray. I can always just, the way I glued them in is I just tabbed some glue on the outside, so I can always just take a razor blade and cut them out and paint them if I wanted to. But I kind of like the gray color; gives it a good contrast. I like it so far. But here I am putting in the windows into these openings. Now the plexiglass goes on the back. That's very simple. All you have to do is just shave off the little tabs that are left on from the packing, and they go right in. These, on the other hand, are a different story. They are too big. Okay, right out the gate. So you can see the size difference. So it's touching on that side, and you can see, I mean, I know it doesn't look like much, but it is much with these little windows. Now, one of them, which I don't know, here it is. I've already shaved it down a little bit, cleaned off the sides. The way I'm shaving them is I'm just taking a razor blade, and I am literally just going like this with it, and then it gets it shaved down to where I need it to be. I'm sure you can use sandpaper or something. I'm a fan of the razor blades myself. So this one I have to shave down a little more on the sides and just try to do it evenly, because what will happen is that you can see how thin that gets on the side here. So I just go back and forth from each side, and I get a little bit off of each, and that will get me down to a size that I'm comfortable with. Always clean the glass before you put the window in. On the main, when you're finished with it, actually. But we are good. So I've seen this. Looks like I've shaved it down enough. Like I said, I will put it in here. I'll make sure it all snaps in nice, and then I just take a little bit of glue, dab it around the edges. I'm sure there's a cleaner way to do it, but like I said, I want to keep it so that way I can eventually cut these out if I wanted to and paint them in the future. So we are working on the side. The actual base is coming together quite well. I'll give you an idea of it here. We're getting our beams in place, and it's looking pretty good. The red, I think, was a little too strong. I mixed it with some black so that way it would get it down to look more like a rusted out, red metal color, just with some coating on it, but it didn't turn out the way that I had hoped. But I will live with it. It's going to give it some cool color on the inside, and definitely do the lighting if you can. It gives it such a cool effect, and it really took no time at all. I put one light here and two lights in here, and reason is two reasons. One, didn't need much more than that. Two, I got my hands on 3 of the lights, and before I bought the 4th, I said, I might as well just put 3 in there. So a lot of guys use LEDs. I couldn't get my hands on them, but as you can see, it's coming together. All 3 rails are in here, and then once I put it in, I have to find a way to shim it out, because as the logo runs over the tracks, it does lose a little connection here and there. So you need to do a real slow speed is kind of difficult. You want to get it up to about, with like Atlas, I get it to about 10 or 12 scale miles an hour. With the MTH, I do about 3 or 4. So if you want to do it on 1 or 2, it shorts out, because it's sitting on this plastic base, and this thing's not perfect. So just a heads up. But I will be in touch with you when we start putting the walls on.